Today, I'm going to talk to you about why the Miami real estate market is still hot and why it's predicted to remain strong in the near future. And I'm going to get started right now. Hey everyone, my name is Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. And today I'm going to talk to you about why the Miami real estate market is still super hot and why it's predicted to remain strong in the near future. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box and download our free guides today. Okay, let's get started. One thing that's really important to know that I've learned over the last 18 years of being in this business is that nobody has a crystal ball when it comes to real estate. There is just no way people can predict what is going to happen in the future with the real estate market. Now, we can look at past trends and activity and experience and make a decent assumption about what is going to happen. But honestly, right now, until more inventory comes on the market, it is going to remain a seller's market. And that's just the reality of what is going on in our local real estate market today. What I do know is this, is that since the market crashed over 15 years ago, lenders have gotten very strict with lending, especially in our area. But we do have a huge amount of people who still purchase with cash, and that creates a very solid foundation for a real estate market. Also, until more inventory comes on the market, and we are still several years behind in terms of building. And so until we get more inventory on the market, it is going to remain a very steady seller's market. But the most important thing to know, and one of the most important things that I've learned over the last 18 years, is that nobody has a crystal ball. People really like to make a lot of predictions about our local real estate market. And I find that most of the time, they're wrong. I hate to say that, but it's very true. Today's real estate market is very different than in the past, and that's really actually for the entire United States. And two reasons why today's real estate market is nothing like the one that we experienced 15 years ago is because today demand for home ownership is real. It's not artificially generated. And also people are not using their houses like ATMs like they did in the early 2000s. It's a very different market. If you have a look at this, you can see that running up to 2006, there was a bit of an artificial demand by lowering lending standards. And that made it easy for many people who shouldn't have qualified for a loan to qualify for a loan. Or they were also refinancing their house and pulling the cash out and making other purchases. Today, purchasers and those who are refinancing a home face very strict regulations from the mortgage companies. Purchasers can afford the mortgage they're taking on, so there's little concern about possible defaults. This is a really great graph that I like to show people. It's from our local real estate association. And you can see this is for Miami-Dade single family homes. This is from March 22, and then this one's from March 2021. So anytime, now there are different theories about this, but the theory that a lot of people use is when you have between 5 to 6 months of inventory, that's pretty much a very neutral market. Anything under 5, you're slowly getting into a seller's market. 4, 3, 2, 1, obviously this, you can see this is a deep seller's market with 1.7 months of inventory. And you can see the difference from March 2021, which is 2.4, to March 2022, which is 1.7. That's for single family homes. And now this is for townhomes and condominiums. So in March 2021, there were 9 months of inventory. And in March 2022, there were 2.3 months of inventory. And now we'll have a look at Broward, and you can see that in March 2021, we had 1.6 months of inventory. And then in March 2022, we had 1.1 months of inventory. So I just wanted to share this information with you to sort of give you a basis of what we know and then how things are kind of moving forward. So basically, just to sort of summarize, this market is not like the market 15 years ago. Many buyers here have been buying with cash, or if they needed financing, They are very high qualified buyers getting financing. The lenders are not super worried about them defaulting because they've been very highly regulated over the last 15 years. Additionally, inventory is very, very low. And until the inventory changes in both Miami-Dade or Broward counties, we are going to see this very deep seller's market and a very competitive market for buyers. Now, a lot of people are asking me about interest rates. Again, we don't have a crystal ball, and interest rates will probably be a driving factor behind buyers' decisions of whether to move forward and purchase now or kind of wait and see what happens. But there are still a lot of buyers in the market today. Inventory is very low, and until something gives from one of those situations or some unknown factor, and that can happen, things will continue to remain more of the same. One thing I do want to just bring up too is people always say, oh, you do Miami-Dade and Broward. Yes, we do, because we work in both counties. We have a lot of people who buy in Broward, but they work in Miami-Dade, and vice versa. And sometimes people move around for schools or obviously work stuff or some other situations. So there is a big kind of combination of Miami-Dade and Broward counties. So we specialize in both areas, and that's why I like to give information for both counties. Let's go into a few more details about why the market is still hot and why it's predicted to remain strong. Low taxes in many ways. For instance, there's no personal income tax in Florida. There's no estate or inheritance tax. And in comparison to other states, the property tax is relatively low or very similar. And it is a very favorable state for retirees. Obviously, Florida and retirees. But always be sure to speak with your accountant to see how it applies to your personal situation. But people love Florida in general because of the low taxes. There was a study done by the National Bureau of Economic Research. And in this final report card that they did in states' response to the pandemic, Florida rated in the top 6 of all states. And they examined 3 variables: the health outcomes, the economic performance throughout the pandemic, and also the impact on education. So we're really proud that Florida rated in the top 6 of all states. Technology. If you didn't know, Greater Miami became the 4th fastest growing area in technology jobs. Major U.S. companies are moving to the area. And according to a recent report by Computing Technology Industry Association, Greater Miami became the 4th fastest growing area in technology jobs. We are super proud of that, and there is a lot of excitement around Miami becoming a new technology hub. Next, prime land is scarce. I mean, you can see just in this picture here, this is a shot of, it's a little bit older shot, but a shot of Brickell. And if you want to live on the water and purchase waterfront real estate, land is scarce here. Many of our properties, for instance, on Miami Beach is an island. Many of the single family homes located in Miami Beach, I mean, there's not a lot because it's an island. There's only so much land to build on. And that's also for Greater Miami as well. Even though Miami-Dade and Broward counties cover a huge chunk of land throughout South Florida, I mean, still land is scarce. There's only so many places to build on here. And so these high demand situations really do shrink the inventory. High rents. People prefer fixed monthly payments. So buying now makes sense. Over the last year, we've seen some people have an increase of rent of 55% or more. And so with this said, many people are not interested in renting anymore. Before 2021, rents could be fairly reasonable in our area, and you could really get a lot for your money. But now the rentals have increased so much that it is creating a higher demand for people to purchase real estate because they are just tired of paying rent to begin with. And then they are tired of the rents changing, or, you live in a property and now the owner wants to sell it. So you have to find another property, or you have to renegotiate the lease every single year. And people just get tired of that. And so people just really want to have a fixed place to live, stability and know what their payment is going to be from year to year. Home ownership. Home ownership has so much more. It offers a sense of pride and stability. And the past 2 years have really taught us a lot about home ownership and how much people appreciate living in their properties, how much people are really grateful for where they live. I have so many people who have called us over the last couple of years, and they're like, oh, we're so happy where we live. We're so happy that we purchased a property. We're so happy that we got into a property before the crazy market that we're in right now. But overall, people are just really happy with home ownership. And it really just gives them so many benefits that are not only emotional, but just foundational benefits as well. And so people really always seek to be a homeowner. We do not have a crystal ball in real estate. So all we can do is go based on the information that we have right now, some market indicators that come up right now. But look, who knew, like I always say, who knew there would be a pandemic that would create the situation that we're in right now? But until more properties start coming on the market and until we start seeing the inventory creep up and have some kind of stabilization in terms of the demand and also the inventory, we are going to continue to see a very deep seller's market. But right now, the local real estate market is still on fire, and our prediction is it was going to remain that way for the next several months. If you have more questions about buying real estate in Miami-Dade or Broward counties, please give us a call. We're always here to be a resource for you. We do put out new videos every week, and we hope you find it helpful. Okay, we'll see you soon.